No sé, esta película contiene muchas películas.
This film contains many films.
Una de ellas que a mí me interesa mucho es la de la construcción del mito.
One of the films it contains is the one about the construction of a myth.
El mito de Santos, el mito de José Sacristán mítico.
The myth of Santos, the myth of kind of the mythological José Sacristán.
Y para el mito es muy importante lo oral, la palabra.
And for myths, orality, the oral, is very, very important.
Pienso en las baladas norteamericanas.
He believes in the words, North American words.
En el cantar de gesta francés. El cantar de gesta francés.
And to sing in words of French words.
O los romances de Tío españoles.
Or in old romance, in old kind of romantic ballads with Spaniards.
La palabra es algo maravilloso.
The word is really the marvelous.
Y en el cine es mucho más rica aún que en la literatura.
And in cinema, words are actually much richer than they are in literature.
Porque aparece una maravillosa dialéctica, ¿no? Entre lo que se ve y lo que se dice.
Because a marvelous dialectic appears between what you see and what you hear.
Es una narración más compleja de lo que parece, aunque esto no tengo que decirlo yo.
The narration of this film is more complex than it might appear at first, although perhaps that's not for me to say.
Sí, al comienzo, si fijan ustedes, parece que es clínica, que repite lo que se ve.
At first, it's almost a clinical narration, as if it's repeating what we're looking at.
Lo que ya es inquietante, produce cierta sospecha, ¿no?
Which is a little troubling and makes us a little bit suspicious about the film.
Incomodidad.
It makes us uncomfortable.
Pero poco a poco esta narración va evolucionando, va cambiando.
But bit by bit, it begins to evolve, it begins to change.
Empieza a decirnos que no se fíen de todo lo que ven.
And finally, the narration tells us, just don't trust everything that you see.
O al revés, quizá, no recuerdo bien lo que cuento.
Or on the contrary, it says, I don't really remember very well what I'm telling you.
Porque la narración soy yo, es el director, es la instancia del que cuenta el relato.
Because it's really me, it's the director from a distance who's relating this story to you, recounting this story to you.
Y quizá uno, mientras cuenta la película, no acaba de acertar a encontrar la palabra justa.
And while one is narrating or making the film, there's times when you just don't find the sort of proper word that you want to use.
Se equivoca, duda.
You forget, you have doubts.
Es un narrador torpe, melancólico.
It's a kind of melancholy, somewhat sort of upset narrator.
Y quiero pensar que al final ya te toma de la mano y te hipnotiza y no te suelta. Quiero pensar. Y la voz te toma y ya no te suelta.
And I like to believe that by the end of the film, the voice has taken you by the hand and hasn't let go.
La película no es contradictoria, es paradójica.
This film is not contradictory, it's paradoxical.
Un salón puede estar vacío completamente, pero a la vez lleno.
A room can be completely empty, but sometimes it's completely full.
De las presencias, de los fantasmas que habitaron aquel lugar.
It can be full of the ghosts, of the essences, the presences of people who have been in that room.
Un hombre puede ser un cobarde y un valiente.
A man can be both a coward and a hero.
Como decía Cervantes, esta película es muy cervantina.
And that's what Cervantes said, and I think this is a very Cervantian film.
Un hombre como Santos puede ser impaciente y paciente.
Someone like Santos can both be patient and very impatient.
Todo es más simple y más complejo.
So everything is kind of both simple but much more complex.
El Quijote es la primera road movie de la historia.
You know, when you think of it, Don Quixote is the first road movie in history.
Hay muchos episodios y van encadenándose.
It's full of lots of different episodes that are all kind of connected.
Y como Cervantes, que escribía de tirón, como Mark Twain, esta película tiene sus momentos mejores y momentos peores.
And just like Cervantes, who just wrote, without sort of going over things and whatever, just like Mark Twain did, this film has great moments and then some that aren't so great.
Y eso lo hace más cercana a la vida.
And that's, in a certain way, makes it a little bit closer to the experience of life itself.
Es una película muy poco calculada.
It's a film that really hasn't been calculated very much, very planned out.
Pero muy preparada, sí.
Very prepared, but not calculated.
Porque no tendría sentido preparar una película en la que los personajes no preparan su vida, corren.
It would make a lot of sense to sort of calculate too closely a film about characters who do just the opposite in their lives. They don't calculate or plan for anything.
Por eso la película la rodamos muy rápidamente.
That's one of the reasons why we shot the film very quickly.
Una o dos tomas, sin ensayos, sin sin ensayos con los actores, sin aparatos complicados de iluminación.
So that's how we shot the film, very often using only first takes without any kind of rehearsals, with very, very simple lighting, not a lot of equipment.
Con los actores conduciendo el coche.
With the actors themselves driving the car.
Que eso se incorpora, yo creo, en ellos y notas cierta verdad.
And that sort of, brings on a feeling where you feel a certain truth, a certain authenticity to the film.